Hey everybody, it's P. I'm here with a DT project for enchantmentscrapbooking.com, and this is a mini album kit that she has offered in her store. It's something that she designed based on an idea that I had with the help of AccuCut, so the three of us worked together on this. This is the base for it. You get 5 of these ovals. You also get a plain frame. This is all included in your chipboard kit. You also get a filigree frame, and you get the Cameo, which is where the idea came from, my grandmother's Cameo. This also comes with an extra couple of pieces. Comes with the Santa, as well as a couple of holly leaves and some little berries. Again, there's the holly leaf, and the little berries are right there. So you get all of that in 5 pages. So you could have a couple different looks with this kit. You could do the Cameo and the ornate frame, or you could do the Santa and the ornate frame, or you could do the simple frame for the Santa, or the simple frame for the Cameo. So a couple different looks for this particular piece, and I love the versatility of that. So here's the mini album. You'll see that it's very eclectic inside. For the base, I decided to use the filigree frame because it reminds me of my grandmother's Cameo, which is where this whole idea got started. And I wanted it to appear like a filigree frame. So what I did is I gessoed the whole frame as well as the Cameo. And then over the top of it, I laid several pieces of lace, as well as some flat back pearls. And then I dry brushed over them with a cream color, and then with an antique gold, because I wanted them to look like some of the filigree work that you would see on an old piece of jewelry or an old picture frame. And I did it along the bottom bodice of the Cameo as well. And then for the Cameo's hair, what appears to be some distress work and the pattern. How I did that was I painted it with gesso, a very light coat, and then I took this piece of lace that Teresa had sent in my kit that has a very pretty pattern. And while the gesso was still wet, I pressed this into the Cameo head, creating a hair pattern. And I really love the way that that turned out. And then down at the bottom here, I have a Prima rose and a cabbage rose. And this rose right here is from enchantmentscrapbooking.com, as well as the baby roses. And I've gone over those with a little bit of pearl paint and some ink. And then this little butterfly right here is from a piece of velvet ribbon that Juliana had sent me, and I just backed it with some paper to give it a little stiffness and added some bling and put it on a stick pin. And then the tulle here and the dotted Swiss. The dotted Swiss was from a childhood dress of mine that my mom had scraps left over, and she gave it to me to use. For the moment, I have used tulle to bind this. And so for the first page, which is the back side of the cover, I have done the lace impressing all the way around again on the frame, and added some distress ink in the walnut to just kind of give it a little aged appearance. I've added some flat back pearls and some trims here, creating a pocket, a little baby staple, and inked all the edges and distressed it. Some little pearls that Teresa had sent in my kit, as well as this beautiful Prima butterfly, which I just love. And then a piece of the pattern paper that's been cut out, and that's what I created the tag with. It's just some of the paper. And the papers are all Prima, and they are from the Printery, Almanac, and the Nature Garden collections. And so for the second page, I've created a little book here, tied it up with some seam binding that Teresa had sent, one of her gardenias, and some bling and some lace that she'd sent along in my kit. And you untie this, and I just put a little Prima stamp there, and you untie this, and it comes down and reveals a photo mat here, and a tag with a little Prima flower and Prima stamp. I just die cut that out, and then used more of the paper to create this, which is a place for my husband's and my wedding photo. The next page was created for my 3 children, Jacob, Tyler, and Caitlin. I've used the Printery paper here, and up at the top I had taken the exact same page and I glossy accented over all of the flowers and leaves, and then I cut the leaves and some of the flowers out and placed it to add dimension. Created 3 frames, and from each frame I have a piece of chain and a charm, and the charms read trust, believe, and create. And these are just little initial brads. And then down here I've cut out using some of the paper and wrote heirlooms on it and added a little bit of lace and another Prima flower here. The next page was created for me, just for fun. I took 3 oval shapes and cut them out, and then this one here, the scallop piece, was a scrap that I had left over from another project, and I have used a charm and an old key and some other embellishments that Teresa had sent in my kit, as well as this little metal grow. And then this is a Prima canvas butterfly and a little Prima bauble there. Out of some flat back pearls, and then I've made a photo mat and a tag, and that's just a little metal piece that I had in a metal pearl brad. So that's the tag for that one. This page was created for my beloved dad, who we lost a few years ago. And the reason I chose this particular lined paper from Printery is because my dad kept a journal of all his hunting and fishing that he did for the Fish and Game Department in the state of Montana. And he hunted and fished a lot. And he would keep track of how many birds he saw that day, or how many fish he saw and what kind of fish they were, and they would ask him when they needed to restock the lakes because they knew he knew. So I created this page based on that. This reminds me of his journals. And then this piece right here, you can't see it, it's such tiny print. It says approximately 10,000 bird species share the world with humans. That's a fact my dad would have known, just because he loved birds. He loved nature in general. And so I created a mat and glued it down and added a monarch butterfly from a stamp that I have. And I also stamped Find Beauty in All Things and cut out some wheat, and the photograph says wheat on it. And then this is a Tim Holtz bird, and I created a scallop there. And this is a picture of my dad when he was 15, his junior year. He graduated early. So, and then I just took a piece of the paper again and stapled it with the baby staples and wrote today, yesterday, and tomorrow. I put an envelope in this page to create a tag. I used some Prima packaging for this tag, and it says, "He who returns from a journey is not the same as he who left." On the back here is some more paper from the collection, and this is just some random writing from my dad. Something about tires, it appears. So the next page I created for my mom. This is a picture of my mom when she's about 20. And I've used a Prima flower here and some bling that Teresa had sent in my kit. This piece here, I do believe it's a Kaiser Craft dress form that one of my secret sisters had sent me. And I just cut out little bits of the paper and added some of Teresa's little baby roses here from enchantmentscrapbooking.com, as well as some little tulle that she had sent, and stamped the word mother and tucked that behind. I love that picture of my mother. This page is a little grungy, which I absolutely love it. This page was created for my grandson, who's not here yet, but we know his name will be Henry, so that's where the H comes from. That's a Tim Holtz typewriter piece, and then behind it is a little baby black bottle cap, and then just a piece I had from my stash, and I've stitched it here and distressed all the pages. A Tim Holtz ticket, and I cut this out with one of my punches, and a little piece of vellum that says it's the little things that make the biggest difference. A little Rusty Brad. And then for the tag here, I wanted to use something recycled. So this is an old CD that I had that was too scratched up to play, so I decided to cover it in the paper. This is just a piece of cork sheet that I put in there for a mat. This is a little stamp that I stamped on the paper, and as well as the word Fox, because that's what I call the baby, as Fox. That'll be his nickname. It's a long story. And then on the back I can you know, write in a circle some notes about his first picture. And then for the last page, I just used a really pretty piece of paper from the Nature Garden collection. I really loved this, and created a pocket and a tag here, which I've stamped on, and created a, out of Prima packaging, created a little place for a photo here, and it says, "In dreams we catch glimpses of life larger than our own." Little envelope there, and this is another one of those butterflies from the ribbon that Juliana had sent me, and this is just some very vintage lace that I had in my stash pile. So that's the last page, and then the back is just the plain paper, and I've just stamped it with my stamp of who created it. So this is my mini album. I loved creating it. I'm really pleased with how that it came out. I'm sure that it'll become a family heirloom in no time. My daughter saw it today and she said it was really pretty, and she loved all the different styles that was in it. So thanks everybody for watching, and you have a great day.